Welcome to TV with Professor Ravi Chaturvedi, an eminent, I can call him as a cricket historian. He's been writing books on cricket, a veteran commentator who has traveled with all the teams, and he's today going to talk to us about World Cup cricket and India's performance, team and participation. Welcome to TV, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Amraj.
So, in this history of World Cup starting from 1975 to 2015, India has won it twice. In 1983, unexpectedly, and especially with Kapil Dev literally leading from the front because of his performance against Zimbabwe, that 175 not out, and subsequently in 2011 with Dhoni, considered one of the coolest players and captains for India. So, how do you differentiate between these two teams and their victories, 83 and 2011?
Well, that's a very vexing question. Yeah, you are right to an extent that 1983, if I remember very correctly, there was only one ex-test cricketer, the former Australian captain Kim Hughes, who did give some chance to India. Otherwise, you want to cut it, you can cut it.
Continue.
Okay. Kim Hughes said that India could be a dark horse for this tournament, otherwise nobody else gave any chance to India. But there were certain developments in cricket, performance of the Indian team, which foreshadowed what could happen. For the first time, when India was touring West Indies before the World Cup in 83, a very important victory came into India's lap when India were able to West Indies on their own soil in Guyana and won the first one day against West Indies. The other thing was that these West Indian players were aging. Their bowlers, their batsmen, they were all above the age of 30. So their reflexes were getting slower. Even after scoring 183, nobody would have given India a chance. Even I am sure the Indian team themselves did not believe that they would be able to win and they will be able to defend this score of 183. What I feel is, if I critically look at that test match, that one day again and again, to me it appears as if the Caribbeans were in a hurry to catch a boat which was going home. You see, there was that shot which was a cause of the downfall of the West Indies team, or in that final, was the arrogance of Viv Richards. This Madan Lal ball was not very short, it was just shade short of length, and he tried a hook shot or a pull shot which went very high, and I think Kapil Dev saw that it was an apple in Eden's garden, so he ran out of his life and he knew that he will make it, he will not allow anybody else to catch it, and that was the turning point of the match. It was overconfidence of the West Indies. They thought 183 was a no game challenge for them and they will be able to win. So that proved their undoing. That proved that cricket is a game of glorious uncertainties. This game, one day you are a king, the other day you are the prince and a pauper next day. So that's what happened. But 2011, Indian team was a different team. I will add a few things again to 83. The planning and the selection of the Indian team was very good. In 83, if you look back, the cricketing conditions of England were very conducive to medium pace bowling. And India was very lucky that we had Balwinder Sandhu, we had Madan Lal, we had Roger Binney. Roger Binney was the match winner. He got the maximum wickets in that series. And so, and then of course, Mahindra Manat, very gentle, what I'll say, pineapple polite medium pacer. These people turned the tables on the mighty West Indians and even that England in the semi-final. So, I mean the composition of the team was very good in that term, and surprisingly, let's not forget the fact that Sunil Gavaskar was a failure in that. So, despite all this, we were able to win the World Cup. Hats off to Kapil Dev and his team. Whatever you might say that they were underdogs, they won by chance, by the arrogance of the West Indians, but the day you are a champion, you are a champion. That's the part of the history. Coming back to 2011 team, 2000 team was a very good team. There were players in our team also which were going down the hill like Virendra Sehwag, very destructive batsman. But such batsmen turn the table in few minutes. If you look at the match which India was playing against Pakistan, their main fast bowler, Sehwag made only about 30 odd runs, but the way he took him left and right, he lost his confidence, and that's where the India was able to have an upper hand. Then it was a very, I would say, a very well-knit team. It was a young team. They had the captain who kept cool, and the captain who knew how to plan his strategy. Look at the final. I mean, in the last stages, he thought that the 6 will be the end of it, and he was able to hit a 6. But throughout the tournament, except a few hiccups here and there, maybe the opening match against Bangladesh, there was hiccups here and there. But those are parts and parcel of the cricket. But I think by and large, Dhoni led the team very well. The team performed as a unit. It was a well-oiled machine which performed to its perfection.
So you have spoken about the team, and both 83, 2011, we had very good well-knit teams. Coming to the present composition of the team, you have briefly spoken about the middle order and the role of Dhoni. But overall, when you look at the 15 players who are there, and when you look at the fast bowling especially, but what is your views on that? And especially, we don't seem to have a left-arm medium pacer in the team. All the fast bowlers that we have are all right-arm fast bowlers.
Before I come to this, there is a very important part of this, is an important cobweb of this. The conditions in England, as I said in 83, the conditions in England were very conducive to medium pace swing bowling. 2019, the conditions in England are going to be very different. This is what we learned from sitting from here. And in that situation where the medium pacers or fast bowlers are not able to make much out of the ball, this will be a changing scenario altogether. There could be high scoring matches where the batsmen are going to dominate, and therefore it is the batting which will make the mare go. So looking at India's team, if you look on the paper, there is no doubt it's a very good team, in the sense you have an opener like Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan. It's a good left and right hand combination. But it is not, the consistency is lacking. Invariably, if you look at the ODI performance of the Indian team, the upper half looks little brittle. It is not that solid. Occasionally they have given a good start, because in one days, what matters is what you do in the initial overs. Because at times the recovery time or recovery period is much less for you, and therefore you run short by a few runs. That is number one. I still find that there are certain grey areas. That is number 4. Even lower down batsmen have also not, because when Dhoni was batting at number 6, you knew that you have a batsman who was worth easily 50 runs. But that situation today I don't see, because the performance of the batsmen who are batting there, say for example, particularly I'll mention only one name, Hardik Pandya. Lot is expected out of him. He's supposed to be an explosive batsman. He's supposed to be an all-rounder. But in terms of expectation, particularly as a batsman, Hardik Pandya has not lived up to the expectations of the selectors and the expectations of the Indian cricket lovers. So that's another grey area we are finding. Then, as you very rightly pointed out, that we have mostly the medium pacers who are right-handed. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Mohammad Shami, good bowlers, both good bowlers. But when I was looking at IPL, I found that Bhuvneshwar was not that effective, which is quite because Bhuvneshwar is one who gets you an early breakthrough. And once you get an early breakthrough, then the spinners can come in and then apply the pressure on the batsman, which surprising was disappointing as far as Bhuvneshwar was concerned. Mohammad Shami is bowling very well, there's no doubt about it. And then the onus is on the spinners, the two wrist spinners. For the first time, India is employing not the finger spinners, but the wrist spinners. That is Kuldeep Yadav and Yajwendra Chahal. Previously, they have performed very well. I mean, you look at any team in test matches or in ODIs, this spin pulse, I am borrowing this word from Ramadan and Valentine, this spin pulse, they have been really spinning a web around the batsman's feet and they are not allowing them to settle down. But unfortunately, Kuldeep had a very bad season in IPL. I hope he's psychologically able to overcome that bad moment of his in the IPL and come back to his usual ways of luring the batsmen, tantalizing them, making them think, bowling an occasional googly or turning more leg break like that. But I feel, let's be very clear about it as far as technique is concerned. These days in the international cricket, we don't have many wrist spinners. Mostly we have finger spinners. And that is the big advantage that the Indian two wrist spinners have. And therefore, I think it is they who could be the match winners in the World Cup.
So, under the scenario of Bhuvneshwar not doing well, as you said in the IPL, we also have Ishant Sharma, Umesh Yadav, or even the young bowler Khalil Ahmed, who did well in bits and parts. You think one of them could have been in the team instead of a person like Vijay Shankar?
Well, the selectors had their own vision, they had their own thinking. I will give them credit for one thing that for the last 1 year or more, the selection committee is focused on the 2019 World Cup and their entire planning was directed towards that side. And there were certain players, the two of whom I named, like it was more, even I thought so, that Ambati Rayudu will be in the final or Rishabh Pant will be in the final. But that they went by their own reasoning. And on that count, I think that maybe whatever selection was made, I mean, that was the best available option for them. And maybe they looked more to the wider picture of the performance of the player, the utility of the player, and experience of the player who can deliver at the time of the need. So there maybe these are the factors which made the selectors to select the team that they have.
So, we have this when Kapil Dev was, I think, the only genuine all-rounder India possessed. Now they consider Jadeja and Hardik Pandya as all-rounders. But you think that's the biggest gap? Like in between, they coined the term bits and
Pieces.
players. So you think somewhere that's where we are missing in the Indian team?
Well, Mr. Amraj, you have very rightly pointed out, after the retirement of Kapil Dev, once he bid adieu to Test cricket, Indian Test team, we have not been able to find a genuine all-rounder of the class and caliber of Kapil Dev. And over the years, whoever was so-called billed as Kapil Dev in making has not lived up to that expectation. Hardik Pandya, as you very rightly said. There are all players, either they are good in bowling or they are good in batting. It's bits and pieces thing. And bits and pieces don't make a team. If you have a team for ODIs, imagine the utility of an all-rounder. I mean, he is expected to take wickets, he is expected to score runs, he is expected to score runs faster. So these are the criteria on the basis of which we decide about a all-rounder. Unfortunately, that area has not been as yet fulfilled by those who have been tried in that place. And that's a very sad part of the Indian cricket. And that is a very big lacuna as far as, that is a big void, big bridge left as far as the Indian cricket team is concerned.
See, other aspect talking about all-rounders is said bat, score and take wickets. The other aspect is fielding. Generally, all-rounder is good fielding. Positively for India, the present team, they have better fielders compared to the previous years. So what do you think has brought about this kind of a paradigm shift in India's fielding performance, at least comparatively, which is better?
You see, with the mushrooming of the instant cricket, where I include both the 50 over and the 20 over format, the two things certainly made their presence felt. I mean, that made them more very important impact on the play, on the game itself, and that was improvement in running between the wickets. The other was, that is, the fielding, and particularly the aerial catching. You have seen, if you look through the World Cups, you will find fabulous catches. You will never believe that this catch could be made. Flying catches. I mean, out of the woods, suddenly you will find somebody emerging and diving for length and holding a catch. These are very redeeming features as far as the future of cricket is concerned. These are the pulsating moments which give joy to the people who pay and watch cricket. And these are very positive things. But if you look at a larger canvas, cricket is a game which has its own majesty, it has its own artistry. Because of the mushrooming of this game, some of the tenets for which cricket was known, they are being blown away, which is a sad part as far as gentleman's game is concerned. And I hope the spirit and the sense and the values for which the cricket stood, and that's why it was known as gentleman's cricket, I hope that sanctity of cricket is not eroded.
Sir, all these 10 teams play 2 warm-up matches. To use the expression which you used previously, all is fair in war and love. But for the Indian team, they go to England pretty late. Just they leave scheduled to leave only on the 22nd and play the warm-up on 25th of this month. So as you have already explained in previous episodes of TV, how acclimatization to a condition is very important. So in that context, what do you think about Indian team's slight departure, maybe due to IPL and other factors?
Look, in the ICC cricket calendar, IPL has become a very important cogweb. Look, I mean, what is more important? Isn't it the World Cup which is more important? Therefore, there are two things associated with the IPL preceding the World Cup. One is that India will not have sufficient time to get acclimatized, about which I have been talking over with you on the Trinity Mirror TV. The other important thing is that, the Indian team, while playing such IPL is not a few days, it's a long, drawn out calendar. The chances of getting injured, maybe a player is hiding his injury, and the mental and physical pressure of such a prolonged period, and that too playing cricket under very hot and humid conditions, saps your energy. And I just pray that within a few days they are able to adjust themselves in England and let the injuries don't, they are aggravated, and let them in the better frame of mind rather than being exhausted, rather than being fagged out, which happens at the end of such a long cricket season. So these are very important factors, you very rightly pointed out, and they must be taken into reckoning when you think of the performance of the team in the forthcoming World Cup in England.
So as you said, there is already an injury scare to Kedar Jadhav. So what I am going to ask you is very hypothetical. In case Kedar Jadhav is not able to make it, so would your choice be Rishabh or Ambati Rayudu?
I think I'm not a member of selection committee, but looking at the performance of the two teams and look, Ambati Rayudu has reached a stage where he's not the future of Indian cricket. Rishabh Pant is the future of Indian cricket. Then there is a future investment in Rishabh. And then this will give a chance to Rishabh to improve his, he knows the challenge before him. His batting is okay, he's an explosive batsman, no doubt about it. But there also he needs little maturity like Dhoni. That maturity is still lacking in Rishabh. So, but taking into account the abilities of both the players, on one side you have the minus factor of age, on the other side the plus factor of the age, left to me, a humble man like me, I will opt for a Rishabh Pant in the team.
Thank you very much, sir, for speaking about World Cup and India.
Thank you.